I found the architecture of Argentina very interesting, at least in my area. I had one area in particular that I was thinking of that kind of had all three different classes of people, where you had the high class, where you went to the homes, they actually had swimming pools, they had their own huge barbecue parrilla areas, and they actually, one of them even had carpet there, which you'll never see carpet in any other home as far as I'm aware of, except for the mission home, really. But yeah, I mean, they had carpet, both husband and wife had a car, they were very wealthy. We lived in more of the middle class area, where we had a house, which could be better said than other people. But we had our own facilities and whatnot. We had our own kitchen, nice tile floors. It was a decent place. And then we had the lower class area within that area where you knew when you hit it, because you'd be walking and all of a sudden it's just dirt roads, and people would have the tin roofs and just walls made of siding or of other metal, just sheet metal. If you think of kind of like the cheap sheds that you can buy from Home Depot and put up in your backyard, a lot of people lived in ones that were similar to that. Obviously not quite that small, but think of a large one that's still 10 feet high. A lot of homes really reminded me of that. They would brace them up using kind of wooden framing within the inside, but a lot of times the outsides really were just the metal, the aluminum sheet metal. Sometimes they would even have less than that, and other times they'd have brick housing, which I found interesting, that a lot of them build their own homes. It's not something where they pay someone to build it. So if they're doing any kind of additions, they just build it themselves using their own concrete that they make together, using sand and this other powder stuff mixed with water. And then, there was actually a time where I got to build someone's foundation. I know in the States I would never trust two 20-year-olds to build my foundation in my house, but I built someone's foundation and helped put in all the bricks together for them, and then they built the rest of it up using smaller bricks. But we used really just the cement blocks, using this homemade cement material, and just kind of putting it all together. And their way of mixing cement was all very Argentine, where they had their own special way of doing it. If you didn't do it that way, you must be doing it wrong, according to them. So it was very interesting to learn their own way of architecture and kind of how they did all that. But it was, walking in the streets, you could see the different classes of people, and they're aware of it, but they're all very humble about it. So it wasn't something you really ever bring up with them, but they were very grateful for everything that you would bring to them in terms of a message, or bringing little presents here and there, or bringing some food with them or something like that, because they're all very gracious for whatever we could do, because they understood kind of the differences in their circumstances.